Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything coming at you with another Wargaming and miniature video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Plastcraft Games E-War 28mm Townhouse. Right, now this one is the brick one. Now I think they make another one that is made of stone. This one has the brick paneling. I've never built a Plastcraft building. I bought this on Miniature Market. It's the same ones you see being sold at Warlord, and I wanted a 28mm house that was going to work with a modern theme and not just my medievals or you know, my Napoleonics or what have you. I wanted something that was going to be a little bit more modern. Okay, so it comes in, looks like it comes in a cardboard box wrapped in a paper sleeve, and let's see if we can get this cardboard box out of the paper sleeve. Oh, pretty easy. Okay. This is also kind of a review of this product for you. So it looks pretty good back here. Just by looking at this, it kind of looks like I'm going to optionally have a ground floor that is just rubble, and then I'm not sure what, oh, this is probably the back roof. Okay, well, we're going to set that off to the side and we'll see what we get. I brought a couple of tools here with me to help me out. Just cut all the tape. I don't know what tape I need to, okay. This is a building in a box. All right, now let's see. Is there any? I'm going to set this a little bit off to the side. And put each piece. Okay, it's got a gray interior, perfectly fine. But the this door just popped right off, and it's not really a door. It's just a spot where the door would be. I'm going to put all the little extra window pieces, door pieces. I'm popping them out whether they belong to come out or not, because they're falling out anyway. And they pop out real easily. I'm really happy with that. And I might save these. This is kind of a protruded PVC is kind of what it looks like. It looks like it's PVC. What do they call that? Like, it looks like what I made a lot of my bases out of, but I could take some of these pieces and maybe continue to use them. And that's what that piece looks like. Pretty nice. Let's keep going. That looks like it's one of the sides. Or the front. I'm sorry, front with a gable, not a gimbal. Playing too much Star Citizen. Okay, this is just one of the sides. No windows. This looks like a side. Okay, that's the side with the chimney, it looks like. All right, this looks like the back. I'm preparing all the pieces. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. That looks like the roof. Where the gimbal might come out of. I keep saying gimbal when it's really a gable. Okay, let's put the floors off to the side just for a second. Ooh, that looks like a shutter. That looks good. Not sure what that is. That's awful bright green. This is probably some support pieces. Okay, I'm going to leave those not to be popped out. This looks like the top floor right there. Well, you can't see it on the screen. This looks like it's going to be this top floor right there. Because the very top floor is only like a half floor. My understanding. I don't know. And then this is the back side of the roof. Okay, so we got the two roofs. We got the. When I go to do assembly, I think I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see it. And then this is probably the floor rubbling area. The floor piece that was rubbled. And that probably goes on one of these two. Ooh, one of these is much bigger than the other. And this one looks like it's got slots around it like these rubble would fit into that. So I bet you that's what this is. So I'm going to set that off to the side. And this is probably the second floor. There's probably no first floor because, and look at this, I don't even get any instructions. So this must be super easy to assemble. And these are probably just glued onto the outside. Is that a door? Closed window? It looks like, I don't know what it looks like. And then if you really wanted to, you could glue on the inside windows. Now this is clear plastic. Put some light on it, you probably see how it's like a clear plastic, and these are cut to put on the inside of these windows, you know, to make it like this. You know, like it's showing in the picture. I could glue them on. On the inside like that. All right, let's zoom out just a little bit. Let's start with the floor. We're gonna actually do the floor first. On the floor, it has all these little slots. You probably don't even need to glue it, right? It's probably going to be one of those things that you could just pop it together without glue. But I am going to glue it because I want it to be more sturdy. Okay, so I got all the little corners popped out. Okay, so I'm noticing some of this rubble is put on this sprue next to each other deliberately. That's probably to let me know that those two are supposed to be corners. They all probably only go in one way. Okay, this one's got a very small pin piece right there. We're going to put that guy right inside there. Yeah, it definitely seems like there's no glue required because it's super tight. And if you're curious, I'm using the Gorilla Clear Grip adhesive, which is very similar to the E6000. And again, it's not a slide because it's super tight. Okay, now there is a downside to this technique, or this building construction technique, is that on the corners you're going to see a little bit of the gray, but you can always go in later with a paintbrush and maybe touch that up, make it look like bricks or what have you. But again, this bottom piece is going to be inside the walls, so we'll see what it looks like when we get to the outside of the walls. And if you didn't notice, I put just very little glue on there. I mean, just enough to grip it, nothing really to secure it, because I think it's super tight. I'm struggling to get it in there, but okay, I got it in there. And that glue is just going to keep it in place. Now I'm going to do the same one on this one. Oh wow, look at that, I broke the Plastcraft building. Yes. These two pieces snapped right off when I went to... Okay. That's... Not even sure if I even need to fix it. But I've got the power. I got glue. Okay, let's glue this corner piece back on, and then now I know that it's a little brittle. More brittle than I expected. So I'll be sure to be careful on the other pieces. Alright, the next one is this one. It will go right here. But I found that if you take it from an end and you kind of slide it into the groove instead of trying to go straight down into the groove, it goes in a lot easier. Like that one. Yeah, that's the technique. Okay, so that's the technique. Take the slot, slide it into the groove, and not try to pop it straight down in. This looks like the roof, where this looks like the floor. Okay, so far so good. That's the back wall, obviously. This is a side wall, but I don't see. Maybe I need to place a floor in there. Whoa, what is this? Staircase, probably. This floor has some holes in it. Okay. So I'm kind of thinking that this floor snaps in like this. I'm going to do a little bit of assembly without gluing, just so I don't mess anything up. Oh. Duh. That's the back wall. This is the front wall. Putting this thing on up all backwards. Okay. Perfect. Okay. There is nothing to line up on this wall. Got it. But there is something to line up on. Oh, that's upside down. Right. Yeah, I can see now that there's no way to finish construction without actually doing some gluing, because this is not a snap-tight building. You're not going to be able to fully construct this. Just by snapping it together. And then if this is the floor, does that fit on the outside of it? It does. Okay, so if the floor or the building ever gets rubbled, then you can just take this off and you have a rubbled piece. That's pretty awesome. Okay, well, let me go ahead and start gluing this together. Okay, once I get this glued together, I'll be right back. Okay, I glued that one piece down, but then it came to a realization that I've got some additional pieces that I'm going to have to glue inside the building. One of them being the chimney, on the inside of the chimney, and then another one being the upstairs doorway right there. So I popped these out. I'm going to try to figure out where these go, exactly how these fit into the equation. Okay, let me glue that piece down. Okay, with the wall in there, and then the rail for the stairs is in there. Now I'm just going to lay this in here. Because with the walls on and everything, this piece would not be coming out. So it's going to be a little tricky to reach down in there and move figures around behind the staircase once you get all the walls in there. Right. Now this side, there's no special slots or anything like that. I just need to glue it on. So this brace on the wall right there actually slides down to fit into the grooves here on the sides, so that when you put your roofs on, they'll rest on that. Okay, so I'm just going to hold everything together for a minute or so. Let the glue kind of get catch. And the same thing will be true on this side. And I will slide that down once I get this one glued on. Hold that for a minute or so. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now you see there's gaps right there, right? And that's where the chimney is going to go. Okay, let's line the chimney up. Outside walls. The inside wall here. Apply some pressure. Yeah, that looks good. And now this piece of the chimney will go here, but only after we put the front roof on, which is the next step. Can't just lay that down. I gotta go up. Okay, so we glued the roof down. We glued the two sides to the gable in there. I glued the roof of the gable together at a 90 degree. And now I'm only going to glue the gable to the front part of this right here. And the rest is just going to tuck underneath. And it's not going to be glued. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for a few minutes with the roof. Set in the right spot. Alright, now they do include a door as well. This is just something that if you wanted to make your model a little bit more lived in, you could take this door and you glue it on the inside, probably with the scuff marks on the bottom, now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, I can't get her in there. A little trim with the X-Acto knife. There we go. And then when you put the door in, put the little scuff marks on the bottom. I mean, you could put it up a little higher. I mean, you could do that, but that's not going to look as good as if you put it on the inside like that. You know? Or if you want to put it in like this, you can, but most doorknobs are on the right hand side. So, see how it's got that like doorknob looking thing right there. But then it's also got that something in the middle too, so however you want to do it. Okay, so now let's complete this chimney. Now, this is how you would play with it, right? The back roof actually fits on these little slots right here. You tuck it up underneath, and you connect these two little grooves here and here to keep the roof from falling off, and you've got it right there. And if you need to get into the building to move some models around or something, you just lift this and move your models around, right? Perfect. Now this is a third layer to the chimney, and that goes on top of the roofs, both roofs. So once this is in place and it's glued in place, you can still pop this off and get it out from underneath. Just like that. Alright, so we need to glue this into place. And I'm going to glue it with the gray to the outside, not the green. Okay, nice and level with the top. One of the reasons why you need it level with the top is because you're going to put the chimney cover, chimney cap, right on top of it like that. And it'll give that illusion, because you got a cutout spot here and a hole here, and it's pretty deep. It'll give an illusion that that chimney is all the way down. That's pretty smart by Plastcraft. All right, so that covers the chimney. And then you, for gameplay, you'll take your roof, you'll slide it under the chimney along this edge here as well. Snap in the two corners, and you've got your building ready to go. Now remember, I mean, you could play with it just like this, no problem on the tabletop, or you could put it on top of the rubble like that. I know it's hard. I don't know if you can see that really. Like that, and then you'll have a floor down here so that if you ever need to pick the building up, you could have guys standing on the floor here. You could put the building back on top of it, and then you could pop the back to get inside for the second and third floor. Okay, I need to stop messing with this because that I just didn't let the glue dry. Okay, so I'm gonna let the glue dry. All right. Alright, give me another minute or so while this dries, and then we'll be back to put some shutters on. I don't plan to put the door on. I want to leave the door open, exposed. I could always use this door later in some other project, but on this project I'm not going to put a door on. But the shutters, sure, I'll put the shutters on. So let me go ahead and pop the shutters off. Plastcraft cuts pretty easily with your X-Acto knife, so be careful that you don't cut too much. It also can be painted because it's pultruded or it's EPVC. So what's that E stand for? Extruded PVC? Whatever. It's basically like a foam board filled with plastic, made of plastic, and been pressed together so tight that it's like plastic sheets, but they've been pressed together so tight to make almost one solid piece of plastic. All right, so those have been cut. I think we could start gluing some shutters on. Okay, so for this case, I'm going to lay this on its side, and we are going to add some shutters to the bottom floor. That's kind of what I'm seeing on there, is the shutters are all on the bottom floor. I'm just going to lay it on here. Now I'm going to make it parallel with the window in all ways. So parallel at the bottom, parallel at the top, and right along the edge of the window. Do that again. What these shutters do, not only do they give you a little color on the front, but they also give you a little bit of what I'm going to call greebling. What it does is instead of the front wall being completely flat, it basically gives it texture, like bumps up and down. So it makes your eyes believe that it's three-dimensional. Now you can do all the windows this way, all the front ones up and down. You can do just the downstairs windows. Now I don't have enough to do every window, so you're going to have to just pick and choose which windows you're going to do. I like the way that one is textured on the brick, so I'm not going to cover it. I'm deliberately going to skip that one. I just like the way that looks. Okay, so we got some back windows, got some front windows, we got the one side window, all on the ground floor, nothing on the second floor. Now if I wanted to, I could go through and do some like clear plastic windows, but I'm going to save these for another project. This is supposed to be a war zone. You know, this building's going to be... Actually, that's not true. I'm doing it for XCOM, but so really it could be pristine, but I don't want it to be. All right, let's... The guy is pretty much done. All right, let me put it on the table and we'll put some miniatures around it and see what it looks like. All right, so here we go. We got some Germans taking up position inside this building. We got a couple of Germans on the outside just to get you the 28. These are both action figures, 28 millimeter. I've got the leader, or no, just another, I guess he's a leader in there. I've got another sergeant up here in the window. I've got a Panzer Shrek guy waiting for a tank to come by. That's what it would look like. Now let's go ahead and I'm going to zoom in a little bit to see, so you can kind of see pretty close what the building would look like. All right, that looks pretty good. Detailing wise, scale wise, just everything looks really good about the building. I like it. Let's take the top off. Maybe spin the model a little bit. Take a look at the building from the back side. Right. Now I want to show you kind of the inside up close. So you got like the staircase. It's not really a staircase, it's just a place where you would theorize that a staircase would be coming up. And then you've got, you know, the upstairs, the downstairs. Yeah, that building looks really, really good. I'm happy that I got it. It was pretty much a steal at Miniature Market. I think I paid $19.99. Alright guys, thanks for coming out and checking out this video, and I'll catch you next time.